there could very well be an incoming upgrade when it comes to VeChain, at least based off what they posted recently. And let me give my thoughts on it and my reaction, and I'll talk about the price later when it comes to this. However, I first want to clarify, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, just my mindset, perspective, and nothing I say is financial advice. So, does anyone remember the Renaissance roadmap? I'm not joking. Remember that when it comes to VeChain? Now, they made an update in regard to that because they recently made a post saying the Interstellar upgrade VIP 255. I'm not joking. It's literally called that. Now, what does this even mean? Allegedly, this is an official VeChain announcement about the next major phase of their quote unquote Renaissance roadmap. And no, I'm not talking about the Renaissance Fair. I'm literally talking about the Renaissance roadmap when it comes to VeChain. Now, there is something called Interstellar when it comes to that. I am not joking, by the way. It's not about the movie. It's literally about this. However, in order to understand why this could even matter, we have to take a look at a little bit of a background story when it comes to this, because so far we've seen Galactica, right? When it comes to this, I'm not joking, but that brought foundational EVM, so Ethereum Virtual Machine compatibility when it comes to VeChain, basically. Now, we also take a look at what happened not too long ago. Of course, the Hayabusa upgrade, that was really massive. And, that brought like a overhauled consensus and impacted the tokenomics. So that was pretty cool. Now, what could very well be the case is Interstellar. However, people may be wondering, okay, so what's Interstellar going to do? Now, Interstellar, what that basically could allow is for VeChain Thor to become much closer to the broader Ethereum ecosystem. So of course, this is going to make it a lot easier for developers who are already, let's say, familiar with Ethereum and all this. So of course, this could really help VeChain in terms of future adoption, right? Now, Interstellar, it's not going to for sure 100% activate yet, at least as of right now, at least hypothetically. The reason why I say that is because there needs to be a vote first that has to pass in order for that to happen. But if we consider the previous, things that have happened, like Galactica, Hayabusa, it would only make sense that Interstellar is also going to pass, right? That's just the way to take a look at it. Now, when is the vote going to begin? It's allegedly going to start at August 10th, so of course this year, and it's going to start at literally 0 o'clock UTC at that specific date, right? Is it going to pass though? I mean, if we've seen how Hayabusa passed, Galactica, I don't see why this wouldn't. So if we take a look at it, there's things going on. We've already seen Galactica, we've seen Hayabusa, and now we could very well see Interstellar. That's the thing. So when it comes to VeChain, people like to say, oh, there's kind of nothing going on. Well, okay, I get it. It may not be the most exciting thing as of right now when it comes to the price charts, but when it comes to the pure fundamentals, I'm just seeing VeChain constantly improve. That's my point of view. And also, VeChain, we saw what happened not too long ago, right? vWorld AI, it went live. And vWorld AI is powered by Agent Suite, but long story short, that's kind of their response to being focused on the AI market, right? Because for quite a while, VeChain is considered this very boring project that's focused on supply chain management. And while that was true for quite a while, even though I didn't think it was so boring, but I get how the niche was considered boring, again, despite all that, VeChain is now being focused heavily when it comes to AI, which I don't think is a bad thing, by the way, because they already have the infrastructure. So when it comes to that, I just didn't see why they wouldn't want to try their kind of efforts at AI, and clearly they're doing that as of right now, especially with the VeChain Thor blockchain, allegedly zero network outages ever since 2018. Again, they have the infrastructure there, so it made sense why they're really focused when it comes to AI. Now, are they still focused on supply chain management? Of course. That didn't change. But now they're kind of just shifting their focus, and everything is going to start with the foundational pieces, right? So in order for VeChain to have better adoption moving forward, it's crucial that things in the Renaissance roadmap were to come into fruition. Like in the case of Hayabusa, we've already seen that happen. We've already seen Galactica happen, and it's kind of crucial to see something like Interstellar happen too, in my opinion. And it's going to really kind of build upon the foundation of VeChain. It's already focused on AI now, but the more and more it has these upgrades, the better it will be for developers, and also I think for enterprises out there to maybe adopt this moving forward. So I don't think this is a bad thing. And again, people like to say, oh, VeChain is cooked. But if we consider how, all the stuff that's going on when it comes to it, how can I say it's really cooked? Okay, the price charts, Even if it were to recover, let's say 5 or 10%, it's not really too much in the grand scheme of things, but I think the fundamental upgrades does go far beyond the price charts because this could hypothetically impact VeChain for years. Now, if I take a look at the price though, when it comes to VET, which is VeChain's primary native token, market cap is around 400 million. So, I mean, it's been kind of stagnating for the past month, basically, which, I mean, that's just kind of how the whole market is overall as of right now. I've seen recently Bitcoin just surpass 65 grand, so that might make an impact when it comes to this a little bit, who knows, by the time I upload this video. But you know what? Tomato, tomato. I haven't seen a hypothetical altcoin season yet, and I'm willing to wait for years if I have to, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But also, I would like to mention this, right? If we consider VeChain back in 2024, back in 2025, it was doing way better than right now. But if we take a look at it fundamentally, isn't VeChain better right now than back then? I mean, again, I really do think so. Just take a look at all the stuff I mentioned before, right? When it comes to the upgrades and all this. And this is the kind of odd thing, at least personally for me, which is kind of unusual in real life, but it kind of makes sense sometimes when it comes to this space. Like, in a sense where VeChain became better, yet it's now cheaper than before. Like, case in point, if we take a look at in terms of market cap, right? Even though I am not telling anyone to do anything, by the way, but I'm just saying this is just from what I can observe. So the market cap as of right now around 400 million. Back in December of 2024, like we have to consider the journey back to there from right now is around 13 times. So that's just how low VeChain has gone down. December 2024, like seriously? That is not a time when VeChain had the best of the best fundamentals. The fundamentals are better right now than back then. VeChain, based off of pretty much attention and all this, and just due to the market sentiment back in December 2024, was able to reach around a 5.3 billion market cap, with fundamentals not being as good as right now. So would VeChain going back there be something so surprising? It wouldn't really, right? I mean, it's reached it before with far less fundamentals. So if the market sentiment were to return back to that point, why can't VeChain return back to around a 5.3 billion market cap from where it is as of right now? I mean, who knows at this point? But it wouldn't surprise me. And the journey back there, or back to there, I should say, is around 13 times. Now, people like to say, well, December of 2024 was the all-time high, though. No, it wasn't. Take a look at VeChain, right? Or should I say VET, its primary native token. The all-time high is, of course, back in 2021, but the market cap at that point was around almost 14 billion. So around a 5.3 billion market cap, which we saw back in December of 2024, it's nothing like groundbreaking. It's nothing that fantastic in the grand scheme of things. And VeChain, or should I say VET, its primary native token, I keep saying VeChain, but I think you get what I mean, right? Just going back there, the journey is around 13 times. Like, even if it just goes to half of that, I'm already going to Sizzler, the restaurant. That's just the way to take a look at it. Bitcoin is not 13 times away from December 2024. That's just the way to take a look at it. Not even 6 times away from its all-time high. Around 2 times, but yeah, besides that. When I take a look at VeChain, I mean, this is just the stuff I think about sometimes. Like, keep in mind, this market cap right here is literally back at 2020 levels. So these are levels that was once seen back in 2020, but it's in 2026. It kind of showcases just how historically low VET is, but I don't mind things being low because I don't mind the dip, and I don't mind dollar cost averaging hypothetically approximately once a month anyways. And if I can do it at 2020 levels in 2026, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to complain at that, but yeah, that's just personally me. But again, the interstellar upgrade, so to speak, it could very well come into fruition. There still needs to be a vote first to kind of decide if it's going to fully activate. But again, I would hypothetically assume that it might, just because we've already seen Hayabusa happen, we've already seen Galactica happen. So it kind of makes sense if interstellar were to happen too. However, if anything were to happen when it comes to that, of course, I'll make a video on it and I'll give my reaction if, let's say, it does go through, or if it doesn't. Again, we'll wait and see, but I don't see why it wouldn't happen considering what's happened historically. However, even besides that, I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very wonderful day.